Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by International Diamond Center, Domino's, Atlantic Roofing, Meldon Law, Los Linderos Tequila, Comfort Temp, Campus USA Credit Union, Pomodoro Cafe, Titan MRI and Imaging, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Miapa Latin Cafe, Radware, Fairlife Milk, Gator Trim Lights, Quality Plumbing, Doreen Wiebe Realtor Caldwell Banker, and the Head Beer Coach.
Now, here's Steve Russell.
If Florida wins the SEC, where do you think they should be seated?
I think if they win the SEC, that means they're probably winning out, and I think they should be a number one seed. Don't want to put any pressure on the head coach, but it's coaching agility and dealing with starting 5-4 and getting where they are today, that is the essence of coaching.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. It really is, because when you're 5-4, it can be suffocating. He has something in him that enables him to just deal with it and pour into his team. And that's hard to do when you're losing, especially when the expectation's so crazy.
Well, indeed, the expectation is if Florida wins out, they certainly could be a 1 seed after winning the SEC and doing a great job in overcoming a sluggish start to beat Mississippi State last night. Welcome into Sports Scene as you listen on WRUF. Andres, our producer today. If all goes right, we will have an abbreviated show today because the Gator women's basketball teams in Greenville, South Carolina, the site of the SEC tournament, they play game 2 today. Kentucky and Arkansas are playing now. Kentucky's up 9, about a minute or so into the third quarter. We'll get a preview of the game from Ryan Urquhart, who's doing play-by-play for the radio broadcast, which we will have for you live here a little later on today. Also today on the show, hope to have, of course, Gator Nationals. Everything's happening in March around here. Gator Nationals roaring into town, the 75th Gator Nationals. Josh Hart is going to join us, one of the NHRA drivers today. Matt Hogan, another driver, will join us tomorrow. Also tomorrow, Ron Slay from the SEC Network will talk SEC hoops with you. He's a hoot, man. He's fun to have, and he'll be around tomorrow. And of course, tonight, Gator baseball here. The Gators winning yet another game yesterday. FAU played well, couldn't score. Gators shut them out. And tonight, it'll be Florida A&M here with airtime here at 6:25. Okay, so that is what is on the docket today. We come to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, now with full-color landscape lighting. Full-color landscape lighting. They can make your home look great. You can do something on the porch, whatever. They can do it for you. They can do a full landscape install and everything in between. You can visit GatorTrimLight.com. They're good people. Find out more. They do great work. And we are fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. When you go see them in person, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you over there. If you have Facebook Live questions today, Andres gets them to me, courtesy of Ruse Ogra State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for car, home, casualty, and life insurance. Any YouTube questions? That's where Campus USA comes in. That's the place Coach Spurrier does his banking, serving our community for 90 years. Everybody on the phone today, that's on the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line. 3 locations in Gainesville, 1 in Lake City to serve you better. You can call them for the best MRI, TitanMRI.com. The email, courtesy of International Diamond Center, It is the official jeweler of the Florida Gators, with an assortment of designer engagement rings, wedding bands, watches, and fine jewelry. First hour sponsor, Quality Plumbing. Love having them around. We appreciate them. Been in business since 1984. Their name says it all. And all of our guests are courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. The only injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators. Meldon Law won't back down. Okay, I think we're going to have Coach Holloway here, too, with us to talk about the Florida women's indoor track team getting an SEC championship for the 9th time in program history. It is also Coach Holloway's 19th title overall. Okay, is he out? All right, there he goes. All right, let's bring in on our Titan MR Imaging phone line the Gator track coach, Mike Holloway. Mouse, good to have you. Congratulations, man, on another SEC championship.
Thank you so much, Steve. It's always good to chat with you, my friend, especially when we win or something, right?
That's right. They don't get old, though, do they?
No. I jokingly, people ask me what's my favorite championship. I always tell them it's the next one, man, because there's always somebody that's new to the process and, hasn't won one with us before. So we had a couple of those people this past weekend. So that was really cool to watch them celebrate with us and be really happy about it.
What were some of the keys? You get points in events. Who led you? What helped you, get this championship?
Well, I think the biggest thing was, we scored across all disciplines. The sprints, the jumps, the relays, the throws, the distances. Obviously, Hilda Olamomoy was big, being second in the 3K and the 5K, and I think it was a total team effort because we didn't win a single event.
I saw that, yeah.
Overall, so
yeah. Depth was big.
Yeah, depth. Yeah, it was. It was.
Did you think going into the indoor season you would be this good? Were you confident in what your teams could do?
Now, Steve, you know me.
I know. I had to ask. People are listening. I got to ask.
Absolutely, I thought we could be this good, and we still got some things we can do better, but. Super proud of, and it was just like a total team effort. Whether it was my folks down in the training room, Yolanda Lawrence and Bria Stanley, Matt Delancey in the weight room. Everybody was involved with this, man. And we're young in a lot of areas, and the youngsters stepped up. I mean, Sydney Sutton coming to this league as a freshman and making the finals in the 2 and the 4 was big. Just even the effort of the freshmen that didn't quite make the finals, they were much better than they'd been ever in their lives. So. And obviously the distance events, we've invested a lot with that, with Will Palmer and that crew, and they stepped up. We needed to score at least, 8 points in the 3K to kind of seal the deal. They put up 12 and it was over. So,
were you pleased with how the guys did?
Yeah, I mean, we're young on the guys' side and a little bit behind the 8 ball, but we will get that all figured out. But we're probably a better national team than we are a conference team on the men's side right now, and we're definitely a better outdoor team because we had the 400 hurdles, we had the 4x1, we had we've got the number 2 returning javelin thrower in the country and a hammer thrower that'll score in the top 3 or 4 in the country. So we're a better outdoor team on the men's side.
I'm glad you brought that up because I mentioned you were going to be here today, and overnight I got 2 emails, so I want to read them, and one of them is just what you said. His name is Phil, and he said, please tell Coach congratulations. And he says, what are the differences between indoor and outdoor?
Okay, well, I think the biggest thing is obviously the distances. And I think if you look at the history of what indoor track was designed to be, it was simply designed to be a break in training for the outdoor season, right? And so I think that for us, we just use it as just that. We've been successful indoors, and we're always striving to be that. We're always striving to be our best outdoors. But you get outside and, there's no bank track, in the 400 indoors, you cut into lane 1 and everybody's in your way. Outside, you stay in your lanes. And you get outside, the hurdles are now 110 meters instead of 60. Same thing in the 4x4, you're cutting in right away in the first leg. Outdoors, you don't cut in until, halfway through the second leg, stuff like that. So, it's just the wind factors come into play outdoors. And also the thing with the indoor season is a lot of the teams that are some of the better teams indoors are teams that have indoor tracks, and we don't have that. And I'm not lobbying for indoor track. We're fine. We're fine. But at the end of the day, there is a little bit of an advantage for the teams that run on indoor tracks every day. We don't, but I'm not in Scott's office asking for an indoor track. We're good.
Let's see here. Harold says, congratulations on the SEC title. What are your outlooks for outdoor season?
I think, again, like I said earlier, I think we're better outdoors on both the men's and women's side. We pick up some events that really help us. And again, we're University of Florida. We're outside all the time. So now our comfort level is big outdoors. Indoors, we go to a bank track, and like I said, we don't see a bank track until we get to the meet. And and then by the time we get accustomed to it, the season's over. So really excited to get outside and just do what we do best and be the Gators, man. And now there's nobody has an advantage over us. We're all on outdoor tracks. They're all the same. So,
all the years I've known you, and you've been on here a lot, and I've always appreciated that. And I thought today, what in the heck is a question I've never asked you? And I had a hard time with that because we've done a lot of these. But I thought of one. I thought of one.
Okay.
Sometimes in any sport, you coach a woman or a man, and maybe at the start of things you didn't expect a lot from them, and all of a sudden they step up and do a little more. Has there been somebody in the program sort of like that for you?
There's somebody like that every year, and I'm not going to say that I don't expect anything from people, but somebody that gets there quicker or exceeds the expectations. Stuff like that. And, I think, just right off the top of my head this year indoors, like, as I mentioned, Sydney Sutton coming in. I'm not sure why my phone muted. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Sydney Sutton making the final in both the 2 and the 4 was big for us this year. But we have somebody like that every year. We sit around casually and we talk about people that came into the program. There's a young man years ago named Gerald Clairville, and he was a walk-on. And, he ran like 50 seconds in high school. And 4 years later, he's 45.5 and is he All-American?
Yeah.
We have a lot of those stories around here. We do.
And tell folks, when does outdoor start?
Florida Relays, man. April 3rd and 4th. Please come out and support us. It's going to be a great meet. A lot of, not just the Gators, a lot of other great NCAA teams coming down here. And then also there's a high school portion of that. And then 2 weeks later, on the 17th and 18th, we have the Tom Jones meet, which has rapidly become one of the best meets in the United States every year. So please come out and support us. We will not disappoint, I promise you.
They do not disappoint. Congratulations, my friend. Thank you for doing this, as always. Appreciate you. We'll talk soon.
Hopefully you won't be on here again in a couple of weeks, man.
You got it. You got it. Thank you, Mike. Yep, thank you, Mouse. Mike Holloway has done a great job. Again, he was a high school coach, ladies and gentlemen, in the area. He's come a long way, and he's done a great job there. By the way, I'll keep you updated. The SEC tournament, about 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Kentucky has blown it open. They're leading by more than 20. So it looks like they're going to pull away and beat Arkansas. Speaking of that, coming up next, we're going to go out to Greenville, South Carolina. Ryan Urquhart, who's got the play-by-play of Florida's game coming up next, will preview Florida's game at the SEC tournament. That's next as you listen to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Ava Lack. After a blowout game against Mississippi State, Florida men's basketball finished their last game in the O-Dome victorious. However, their season is far from over as Coach Todd Golden looks ahead to the bigger prize.
We want to be the last one seed. I think Michigan, Duke, and Arizona have kind of carved out their opportunities to be ones, but that last one seed is open for the taking. And we're going to have some opportunities here to get some more good quad one wins, potentially advance in the SEC tournament, and to see what our resume looks like. But we put ourselves in position to compete for the one, and that's what we're going to do.
To finish out the regular season, the Gators face Kentucky on the road Saturday. Florida baseball takes on Florida A&M tonight at 6:30 p.m. With a win last night against FAU, the Gators look to continue their current 12-game winning streak at home. Florida women's basketball faces Mississippi State today to mark the start of the SEC tournament. Tune in to WRUF at 1:10 p.m. for the coverage.
Tickets are limited. Get yours now at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of Gator history.
Hey folks, it's Steve Russell for my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. They've been in business for over 45 years. That in itself says a whole lot. Take a look around you when you drive. Take a look at the car in front of you, alongside of you. There's a really good chance it'll have a Southeast Car Agency tag, just like my vehicle does, and many vehicles before that have as well. When you go see them in person, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you to the good people at Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Gator Nation, ready to light it up? Gator Trim Light has already brightened homes and businesses across North Florida. And now they're bringing the heat with full color landscape lighting. Light up your palm trees, bushes, pools, patios, barbecue decks, everything in orange and blue. Whether it's a back porch retrofit or a full custom landscape install, Gator Trim Light makes your home game day ready. Turn your patio into the ultimate victory zone and cheer your Gators on to a big win. Visit GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. Gator Trim Light. Let there be Gator Light.
This year, flavor doesn't walk. It runs wild. At P.F. Chang's, we're charging into the year of the horse with bold new wok-fired dishes like pork belly bao buns and refreshing cocktails like the Midnight Gallop. P.F. Chang's beloved red envelope tradition returns, adding a surprise element to every visit during the Lunar New Year. Each guest receives a red envelope revealing a special offer redeemable on a future visit. Stop in now for their great lunch specials starting at just $13.99 at P.F. Chang's. Valid for dine-in only while supplies last. Details at pfchangs.com.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their pressed ciabatta pesto chicken with fries, grilled chicken, assorted roast peppers, mushrooms, mozzarella, and pesto aioli.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
WRUF, where Gator Nation comes alive. 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Well, postseason basketball is here on the women's side. Florida women's basketball team playing Game 2 of the SEC tournament up in Greenville, South Carolina, today taking on Mississippi State. Ryan Urquhart is live there. He'll have the call of the game along with Brittany Davis. You'll hear it right here. Let's bring Ryan in to get a preview of this matchup. Ryan, good to have you, man. Welcome.
Hey, Steve. Good to talk to you. How you been, man?
I've been great. Thank you for doing this. Look, you've seen this team all year long. They've played better of late. What do your eyes tell you here about this team as they enter this tournament?
Well, when it comes to this Florida women's basketball team, they're so talented, right? 3 McDonald's All-Americans on the roster, but with that is also the youth of this team. And they started to gel a little bit down the stretch of the season. They've had a ton of close calls in SEC play against Tennessee, Auburn, Kentucky, Oklahoma, Alabama, and then finally got over the hump against a top 25 Ole Miss team. And then won 4 of their last 7 entering this tournament, going against a Mississippi State team that they beat on the road. So if Florida can find a rhythm, and that includes Liv McGill being in a rhythm early, that seems to be a key for Florida, and they match up well with this Mississippi State team.
A little bit more about Mississippi State, Ryan, because they really struggle against they give up a lot of threes. They don't make a lot of threes. So give us a quick scouting report on the Bulldogs.
Yeah, ultimately, this is a team, Steve, that's, for one, very balanced in their attack. They have 7 players who average between about 8.5 to 13.5 points per game. 7 different Bulldogs have led the team in scoring. Player you're going to want to watch out for is Madison Francis. She had a 20-point, 13-rebound double-double. Last time she saw Florida, she's the nation's blocks leader. Florida was able to neutralize Favor Wade-Dozie. She only had 8 points against Florida. It's one of the best rebounders. But ultimately, Steve, this is a game that's going to be decided in the paint. Florida last time got off to a great start there, never relented the lead. Mississippi State, they want to go inside out, and Florida dominated the paint scoring, especially in the first half when they met in Starkville. So ultimately for Florida, making sure that they limit Mississippi State's ability to go inside. You mentioned the three-point shooting. That really hasn't been in the repertoire of Mississippi State, as you alluded to. But if Florida can hit a few big threes, like you said, they don't defend it very well either, so that could be an area where they gain a big edge.
And again, the Gators did beat Mississippi State on the road by 15 earlier this year. A lot of people, Ryan, are looking at Florida and saying, is there any chance they could make the NCAA tournament? Would Florida have to win this for that to happen?
Yeah, I think ultimately, your most secure path, right, is to win the SEC tournament. That's the only guaranteed way to do it. Right now, Mississippi State is kind of a good case study in how Florida's not super far out. Right now, the Gators are about 50th in the net rankings, Mississippi State 39th, but your resume can change in this tournament because you're playing so many Quad 1 teams. I mean, Florida technically is a Quad 1 team at this point. So for Mississippi State, right, you beat them. Okay, you've beat what was right now Charlie Cream's last team into the NCAA tournament. Then the next two opponents will be Oklahoma and LSU. If Florida has Ole Miss, Oklahoma, LSU, all those wins on their resume, I think they get back into that bubble conversation. Do they get over that hump? I don't know. Florida has a few blemishes here or there that might keep them out. But ultimately, Steve, the task in front of this team and this mentality is to try and win every game of this tournament, get to Sunday, and punch their ticket.
I hope this is a fair question, Ryan, because it's a pretty broad, encompassing question. But you've seen a lot of this team. When they go right, what's going well for them? When it doesn't, what are the warts that we see?
Yeah, I'll start with the positive side, right? The eternal optimist
of
here.
Course,
and
yes.
Well, for Florida, when things are going right, they're creating turnovers. They're moving the ball in transition. Liv McGill is really good defensively. For as much attention as she gets as a scorer, right? She broke Florida's single-season scoring record. She is just as good of an aggressive defender. She can create steals. She's top 40 nationally in that regard. So I think when Florida's defense is on point and they're creating turnovers, if they can force Mississippi State into some miscues, that's when they're at their best. Additionally, when Miara O'Neal stays out of foul trouble and she's scoring at all levels. Funny enough, she's one of Florida's best three-point shooters. I know her dad kind of struggled with that aspect of his game, but when Miara O'Neal can get her three-point shot going, she's the best three-point shooter in that family, and it shows. She's got a plus 40% three-point mark in SEC play. So, meanwhile, you talk about the warts of this team. I think we saw it against Georgia. Liv McGill got shut down and got trapped a lot. When the Gators are struggling to get the ball up the floor, when they're kind of out of rhythm offensively, and basically when they're not hanging on to the ball. So for Florida all season long, the conversation is really centered on, is Florida taking care of the rock? That was a bit of an issue last year when they were second in the league in turnovers. This year it's cleaned up a bit, but when those turnovers start to roll, Florida gets down in a deficit, and it's just hard to climb out of it. So I think for Florida, it's getting Miara O'Neal going from three. And additionally, their defense has to be able to attack, stay on their assignments, make proper reads, and create turnovers.
All right, again, we'll carry the game live here as soon as Kentucky is done with their game against Arkansas. Unless Kentucky completely falls apart here, they're going to win with about a minute to go in the third quarter, and we'll see what happens with Florida. Ryan and Brittany Davis have the call. Ryan, do me a big favor, please. Say hi to Britt. I did games with her. So,
I know.
I love her to death. Please tell her I said hello. Have a great call, and thanks for doing this.
Absolutely. I'll tell her you said hello, and I'm looking forward to doing games with you in a couple weeks for softball.
You betcha. Thanks, Ryan. Good to have you here. Ryan Urquhart joining us here again. He'll have the call live with Brittany Davis here on the show today. And again, we will have an abbreviated show today because of our coverage of the SEC Women's Tournament. Ryan sends me an email. He says, my monthly football, and he puts soccer, email. A heads up, the women's soccer team plays a friendly spring game against Sporting Jacksonville this Friday at 6:30. And he says apparently Fred Taylor and Tim Tebow have a stake in that. You learn something every day. I didn't know that, but thank you. Again, soccer is not my thing, so thank you for that. By the way, let me just say this. I think I really liked Florida's soccer coach when she was here. I was a little surprised she was let go. But the guy that Florida got from Mississippi State, I think is going to turn this around fast. A lot of his team transferred here. I think you will see immediate improvement in that soccer team. Daryl, enjoyed having you and Jeff on the TV broadcast last night. Yeah, it was fun. Thomas Haugh, resting, didn't hurt us at all. Let's win at Rupp and keep enjoying the journey. Isn't it funny how we are at the point we're at? Kentucky last night got hosed at A&M. Auburn got they had to beat LSU, and they did. It's really going to be interesting how many teams from the SEC get in here. BB, thinking about something after the game last night, wish there was some way basketball teams could schedule an out-of-conference game or two in late January to mid-February to enable coaches and players to better evaluate what they need to work on for postseason play. Michigan and Duke did that not too long ago, remember? Wasn't it last week or 2 weeks ago they played? So that came, in the middle of the conference season. Florida playing Duke or UConn at a neutral site, maybe a home and away game set up. Yeah, I don't know that a lot of coaches like to do that because they're in the rhythm of the league, and I understand that, but I like that idea. And I think it's great for fans. If you can get a marquee matchup, again, this, because they mostly come in November and December, right? Tournaments and all that. But what if you had, Florida, Michigan coming here mid-January? That's pretty nice. But that also means that's one more tough game you have in the midst of an SEC schedule. So there's pros to it, there's cons to it, but, we'll see if Todd Golden does that somewhere down the road. And, of course, Gator football spring practice, they're going to be all morning practices. And Summerall said it. They're going to hit. They're going to be, hard-hitting practices, different than what we have seen here in the past. NHRA Gator Nationals roars into town this weekend. Hopefully, we talk to Josh Hart, one of the drivers. That's going to come up next as you listen on Sports Scene on WRUF.
March Madness is coming to WRUF.
It's football season, touchdowns and celebrations, and unfortunately, injuries. If you're injured, call Titan MRI and Imaging. No need to deal with long wait times and high costs to get your scans done. Titan MRI and Imaging will save you time and money. And the experience at Titan MRI and Imaging, much more personal than the sterile atmosphere of a hospital. Joe and his team are personally involved and will guide you through the entire process at any of their 3 convenient locations. So if you need a scan, call Titan MRI and Imaging. Learn more at TitanMRI.com.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
Need a new AC and wondering who to call? I'm Kirk Smith, owner of Crystal Air and Water. Our team of professionals are strongly committed to responsiveness, problem resolution, customer satisfaction, and service excellence. We promise to meet the heating and cooling needs of your home with the most effective and energy-efficient products available. Maybe that's why we're the most liked AC company on Facebook. Follow us today. Crystal Air and Water, online at acpenguin.com.
License number CMC 1249384.
Yes, I'm calling Crystal Air and Water.
Call Crystal.
Gator fans, get ready to raise a glass for a perfect cause. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is teaming up with UF Gymnastics head coach Jenny Rowland to bring you 2 brand new limited time drinks. Feel the heat with the fiery flip or stick the landing with the perfect 10 margarita. And here's the best part. $2 from every drink goes straight to support the Gator NIL Fund. Sip, support, and celebrate Gator greatness. But hurry, these signature drinks are only available for a limited time at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, where Gators come to win.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
Steve Russell will tell you, if you haven't tried Hard Rock Bet yet, there's no better time to shoot your shot at big wins than in March. The hardwood's heating up, and new signups can double their winnings on their first 10 bets, maximum $50. That's right, your winnings are doubled on your first 10 bets. If you would have won $100 on your bet, make that $200. Now that's how you get the party started on Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Again, we will have live coverage of the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament coming up around 1:15 or so today, but we're pretty flexible with that. But they're in the fourth quarter now. Kentucky's blowing out Arkansas, and we'll keep you abreast of when we will go to that. With all the stuff going on, the NHRA Gator Nationals roar into town. The 75th edition of Gator Nationals comes here, and we're going to talk to Josh Hart now, top fuel driver. Josh, welcome. You're in Ocala, I understand.
Yes, sir. This is my home track. We're only about 35 minutes away.
Yeah, how about that? Did you win your first top fuel race here back 4 or 5 years ago? Is that right?
I sure did, and it was the first time that my company, Bernie's Speed Shop, was on the side of the car. Absolutely priceless experience. Storybook ending for that day.
Yeah, that's terrific. Since that time, how have you run? What's gone well for you?
We did win again in Charlotte in 2021, and then we came back in 2023 and we won the Pep Boys All-Star Call-Out. So that was a nice payday. A couple of runner-ups, and that was that. So I sold my program, not sure really what my future held, and got a phone call from John Force Racing.
Yeah, I was going to say, how'd you get involved with John Force Racing?
We've been talking on and off about me driving, and then when Brittany Force made it official that she was retiring, they gave me the green light to take the seat, and kind of never looked back. So very blessed. 2026 is going to be probably one of the best years of my career.
Wow, that's interesting. I've always wondered this. When the conditions are right, Josh, Gainesville Raceway is supposedly one of the faster tracks. Why is that?
I don't know if it's just because of the air density or the elevation, but I mean it's just a combination of factors where you can throw the kitchen sink at these cars. I mean, you can go all out, and the track will hold it. They'll put down record-breaking numbers.
It's going to be warm. I mean, by even Florida standards, upper 80s. We don't normally see that this time of the year. Does that have any effect at all?
Yeah, absolutely. The track will get hot and perhaps a little bit slimy, so you got to back these things down, and that's hard. I mean, they're 12,000 horsepower, so just got to make sure that you're getting plenty of traction and you're getting consistent.
It's funny. When I was a lot younger, I went to the races all the time, covered them, did this show from upstairs there, and I got to know some of the drivers. And I'm not saying there's not animosity sometimes, but I was always struck by the respect that the drivers have for one another most of the time. Is that, in fact, true now?
100% true. I mean, the camaraderie in the pits is pretty tight. There's only a handful of people that can handle 340 mile an hour. So, and regardless of how you feel or how the race ended, you're going to see that same group the following weekend. So definitely, a good, respectful environment, to say the least.
How'd you get into racing?
I was on the other side of the tracks. I was kind of the one that broke all the rules on the streets, nothing to be proud of. And one of my family friends said, hey, go up to Gainesville and just try it up there. You're a really good driver. And I was fortunate to do things also backwards on the other side. I built my business so that I could afford my racing.
There you go.
And, kind of just worked my way through the ranks, and now driving the fastest accelerating vehicle in the world.
Yeah. Was there anybody you looked up to from a driver standpoint?
I would say, all of them have taught me things kind of throughout my Top Fuel career. Sean Langdon, Steve Torrance, even had some really good conversations with Justin Ashley. But as far as like a mentor goes, everybody I think looks up to the greatest of all time. That's John Force. And my shop, Bernie's speed shop, is real close to Don Garlitt's. We're only 7 miles apart. So
oh, wow.
I've been fortunate enough to work with him one-on-one, and that has definitely helped mold my drag racing career.
Josh Hart joining us here on Sports Scene, Top Fuel driver. He'll be one of many over at the Gainesville Raceway for Gator Nationals as they come to town this weekend. Getting a sponsor, Josh, what process do you go through to do that?
Oh, it's horrible. The good old days, the good old days where people just write you checks to put their name on the side of the car do not exist, I assure you. So it's much needed B2B relationships. You focus on, again, with my company, I can offer that, and we can leverage those relationships where it is a monetary value on both sides. And then the advertising, brand awareness, all those other things are kind of just added bonuses.
All right.
So it's hard.
Yeah, and I remember those old days when just somebody would slap their name on a car. Yeah, I hear you. Appreciate your time doing this. Thank you for taking the time. Good luck this weekend at the track.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got it, Josh. Thank you. He's from Ocala. How about that? And he won the first race here. I think it was 2021. And we will see what happens this weekend. Let's go to our International Diamond Center email. Kevin says, how much weight do you put on Florida basketball beating Illinois in a before the season started game? I don't. I mean, it does give you an idea of what your team is and what they can do, but a lot happens between, that and now. But it does give you a barometer, I think, to be fair. Mark said, I heard one college basketball TV analyst label Micah an NBA caliber big man. Whoa. Well, I like Micah. Seems like a big stretch. Your thoughts? Well, if you take him at his literal word, Mark, NBA caliber, I mean, I see that. I mean, could he be a role player? Maybe, end of the bench guy? Maybe. But again, I'm using your word, NBA caliber. Yeah. Do I think he's going to be in the NBA? Probably not, but we'll see. Art, why doesn't the baseball team treat every game similar? Taking out a pitcher after 2 innings is just silly. No, it is not. It is not silly. Here's why. Not that you're not trying to win a midweek game, Art. You are. But you're setting yourself up for weekends in the SEC. And at this point in the year, you're also trying to figure out who you trust on the mound. And getting these auditions like this, like yesterday, Cooper Walsh is going to pitch Sunday. That's his normal time. So he's on a pitch count. You're not going to throw 80 pitches and then have him pitch again on Sunday. And you now want to figure out, okay, who can I, based on their performance, who can I trust? So it is not silly at all. This time of the year, you want to see your pitchers in live action against somebody else besides an inner squad and see how they do. And I think this is a deeper pitching staff. It is a better pitching staff. I think this is a deeper team defensively, different lineups they can use. I really like this team, 12 games into whatever it is, into the year. Now, they got to stay healthy. right? That's always a part of this. But I think they're going to be good. So, no, it is not silly to do that because you already have your weekend starters. You know right now it's Peterson, King, and Walls. You would not have seen Cooper Walls yesterday if they would have played Sunday. Somebody else would have started, and then, you bring in different arms. That's just how that works. Now, you get into April, you may have a designated weekday because they only play one weekday game after they start the SEC. So you may have a designated guy on Tuesday. Let me just say Billy Barlow, okay? But even then, if a guy hasn't gotten some work, you put him out there in a midweek game if you're going to trust him to pitch in games that count. So, I will reiterate, not silly at all to do that. All right, we got some time here. Still time to hear from you. We'll be here for a little while longer, and then we'll get you ready for Florida, Mississippi State, live at the SEC tournament. We will have that game right here. Don't forget all of our guests, courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971, the only injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators. Meldon Law won't back down. And many thanks to Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour of the show. We really appreciate that. And a sponsor today as well is the Florida Legends event. 3 Heismans, 2 events, in one legendary day. You can join Steve Spurrier, Danny Warfel, and Tim Tebow for the Legends Gala at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill at Alachua County Sports Center on Monday, March 30th. You can get your tickets or find out more info, www.fllegends.com. That's www.fllegends.com. And if you want to be a sponsor of the show, love to have you. We appreciate all of our sponsors here. To do that, it's really simple. Just contact Freddie. He'll take care of it. 352-284-3733. And you can check out our daily clip of the day on WRUF, Facebook, and YouTube at WRUF Home of the Gators. Brought to you by Fairlife Milk. All right, I got to get an email here if I can get it ready here. Okay, I'm not sure what that is, but okay. One more here. Jake, love what Gator men's basketball is doing. I'm getting excited and getting all caught up in what the postseason could be. You ain't the only one, big guy. A lot of people are getting caught up in this, and they should. Look, when's the last time Florida won the SEC, right? Was it 2014, am I right? How long ago was that? This is a school that's not won a ton of SEC championships in men's basketball. So make sure that you enjoy that journey. All right, let's go to our Titan MRI imaging phone line. Box and Jim, hello.
Hey, Steve. Last night's game, the announcers, mentioned that Thomas Haugh was held out, and the term they used was precautionary. Now, last Saturday, when we were watching the Arkansas game, I'm trying to recall, did Thomas take like a fall?
Yes. Yes.
Was it his shoulder area or what? Because I know that Boogie Flynn fell and he was bleeding a little bit, but I was trying to recall Haugh, and could you please give me an update his condition?
I can't give you an update. I mean, obviously he was held out last night. So I'm not privy to that. But now, do I think, and I don't know this, if this game was of huge importance, it's the NCAA tournament, that sort of thing, would he have played? I don't know. But certainly the word that was used, I think, is the right word, precautionary. You can afford to not have him for a game. You cannot afford to have him long term.
I agree wholeheartedly. But it was nice last night. Thomas sat on the bench and was a cheerleader, and Florida did their thing. So, hey, basketball team's looking great. How do you see this game up in Lexington? I mean, we beat them in Gainesville, and obviously Kentucky's Kentucky, but they're not as good, certainly, as they have been in previous years, and but they're going to be out for revenge.
Kentucky has had some injuries. They've been very inconsistent. They got waxed yesterday. It's their senior night, all that nonsense. I shouldn't say nonsense, all that stuff. So they'll be geeked to play the game, no question. But I think Florida's better. Now, do they play as well on the road as they've been playing here? We will find out. But I don't think Florida, wants to go there and lose. But once again, if they have people that are not healthy, if Haugh needs to sit out one more game, that's what he'll probably do. And that's what he should do.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to the game. Thank you, Steve.
Okay, Boxing Jim, thank you. You have Vandy, got a win last night. Tennessee got a win last night. Georgia got a big win over Alabama. That certainly helped Florida's case. So it's been a very topsy-turvy SEC. Oklahoma blasted Missouri last night. Big win for Oklahoma. And A&M beat Kentucky by 11, but it was not that close. They were never really in that game. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More to come on Sports Scene. Again, we will get you live. There's less than 2 minutes to go with Kentucky and Arkansas. We'll get you live to Greenville, South Carolina, Florida, and Mississippi State in the SEC tournament. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
Hi, I'm Mika Perez, and number 5 Florida basketball dominated on senior night, crushing Mississippi State 108-74 as the Gators celebrated their outright SEC regular season title. Coach Todd Golden says Florida wants to finish as the last number 1 seed.
We want to be the last 1 seed. I think Michigan, Duke, and Arizona have kind of carved out their opportunities to be ones, but that last 1 seed is open for the taking, and we're going to have some opportunities here to get some more good quad 1 wins, potentially advance in an SEC tournament, and we'll see what our resume looks like. But we put ourselves in position to compete for the 1, and that's what we're going to do.
The Gators will finish their regular season on the road against Kentucky this Saturday with coverage on WRUF-FM beginning at 3:30 p.m. Number 9 Florida baseball is back at home tonight hosting Florida A&M after a 4-0 shutout of FAU Tuesday. Coverage begins at 6:25 p.m. on WRUF. And Florida women's basketball begins its SEC tournament run against number 13 Mississippi State. Coverage on WRUF begins at 1:10 p.m.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF Bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida Bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida Bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
Davis Gainesville Chevrolet is now Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC.
That's right, Coach. The all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC is an unbeatable team. New Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra, your choice, just $279 a month. Plus, nobody will pay you more for your trade than we will. At the all-new Gainesville Chevrolet and Gainesville GMC.
See you soon at GainesvilleChevyGMC.com.
24-month leases, 85-21 due at signing. No security deposit. Subject to lender approval. May include loyalty. Offers don't combine. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear?
Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable. And when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
There's joy in every RV journey. Your journey starts at Central Florida's largest multi-dealer RV show. It's the Ocala RV Show, Thursday, March 5th through Sunday the 8th at the Ocala Horse Park, with hundreds of RVs on display with lifestyle booths. Adults $5, kids under 16 free. Thursday through Saturday from 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4. Seniors get $1 off Thursday. Military and first responders $1 off every day. The Ocala RV Show at the Ocala Horse Park.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
We'll start out with mostly clear skies this evening, but again, overnight, do expect patchy, dense fog after midnight and just around dawn. That will impact your morning commute. Lows to start off in the lower 60s for a Thursday morning. Highs Thursday afternoon in the mid to upper 80s with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. We'll have a chance for a few late afternoon and early evening showers tomorrow, mainly along and west of I-75. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
The Tailgate with Jeff Cardozo and Zach Albuquerque. Weekdays at 4, right here on WRUF.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. We're going to get you out to the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. Kentucky is a winner. They advance. And we'll see if Florida advances here. We'll have our live coverage beginning in just about 15 minutes or so, okay? So we will have that coming up for you. In the meantime, if you want to email, call before we do that, you can certainly do that. Okay. Jerry, do you think the Gators are playing anywhere else but Rupp Arena? They'd rest some starters on Saturday. That's a great question. He also says, loves the hoop. There it is with Mark Wise. And he said, I've thoroughly enjoyed the journey again this season. This team wears teams down. Fun to watch. I am glad you enjoyed the journey, Jerry, because Mark says it, I say it, it is a journey. And it isn't always enjoyable, right? Every year is not like this or last year, but it is a journey. And to answer your question, yeah, maybe so. They've already won the SEC, but again, they want to be a 1 seed. And that's why I don't think they would sit starters just for the sake of it. Victor, these basketball guys look like they're playing with their food now. Dare I say their killer instinct added to surpass last year's. No one's looking for Clayton to bail them out. Don't get me wrong, last year's team historic, but these guys look to play with an attitude now. They're playing like champs, moxie. Let's hope it sticks if someone dares to punch him in the mouth. Regarding Haugh, great decision. Don't think he knows how to slow down if he tried, but it wasn't that funny. Not funny that Condon almost hurt him when he jumped on top of him celebrating. Yeah, I mean, it's good stuff. Tony, welcome to the show.
Thanks for taking my call, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll tell you how I feel about the Kentucky game. I think this team, now that it's almost 9 deep in players, can beat Kentucky with no problem the way Kentucky's playing. I don't think the crowd let this happen in Rupp Arena. A lot of times the refs seem like they're intimidated, or the calls seem to go one way. I may be wrong, but I've seen too many games both on TV and in person there. What do you think?
Nah, I don't get that sense at all. I mean, look, when you're the home team, I don't care who it is. You generally get, in general, the benefit of the doubt. But I don't think you're going to see a game that's, where the fouls are, ridiculous one way or the other.
Okay.
Like, for example, last night, 16-14 in fouls.
Right. I like Hough's attitude too, where he says he likes to go to people in Rector Day, people's home in Rector Day. I think hopefully he's playing, and I think he's going to enjoy himself.
All right. Thank you, Tony. By the way, how about a tip of the cap to Condon? It wasn't that long ago, he can't do this, he can't do that. He's been terrific. 26 points last night, 7 rebounds. And Chinyelu again, the double-double machine, 11 and 16. And, not great from 3 last night, but good enough for what they do elsewhere. That's the key. 8 of 22, isn't going to set the world on fire, but it is good enough. I promise you, with the other things that they do, it is certainly good enough. 6 players in double figures last night. They do that, they're going to be a tough out. That's all about matchups. It's all about how you play on a certain day. We all know that when the tournament rolls around. But they keep playing like that. It is going to be a difficult matchup for whoever goes up against Florida. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Stay with us on Sports Scene on WRUF.
You're listening to the home of Gator Sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com, and let your brand shine.
It's a new year, kind of a new season, and Coach Steve Spurrier knows the importance of teamwork.
Any head coach that is successful, he's got to have a good staff. So team is very important, just like it is at Campus USA, and I'm proud to be part of that group.
Listen to the head ball coach and make the right play. Start your new year in a better financial place. Campus USA Credit Union. Check out campuscu.com. campuscu.com.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your trusted partner in tough times. Call Meldon Law at 352-373-8000 or visit us at meldonlaw.com.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
Ever dreamed of catching a touchdown pass from Tim Tebow or Danny Warfel, or taking a handoff from the legendary Steve Spurrier? Then you need to join the Florida Legends experience on Monday, March 30th at the Alachua County at Celebration Point. You'll receive a personal video of your touchdown and a football signed by the Gator Legends. Enjoy an unforgettable day of Gator greatness while supporting the incredible mission of Isaiah 117 House. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of Gator history.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him a...
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by International Diamond Center, Domino's, Atlantic Roofing, Meldon Law, Los Linderos Tequila, Comfort Temp, Campus USA Credit Union, Pomodoro Cafe, Titan MRI and Imaging, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Miapa Latin Cafe, Radware, Fairlife Milk, Gator Trim Lights, Quality Plumbing, Doreen Wiebe Realtor Caldwell Banker, and the Head Beer Coach.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
A very abbreviated second hour coming up with the show. We're getting you out to the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament for live coverage. Quality Plumbing sponsoring the first hour. Florida Legends event sponsoring hour number 2, where you can join Steve Spurrier, Danny Warfel, and Tim Tebow for the Legends Gala at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill in Alachua County Sports Center on Monday, March 30th. All right, we got 2 calls to take. Andrew, you got about a minute and a half. Go.
Yeah, I was thinking Howe was out yesterday that we maybe take it easy the last 2 games, and then I saw you guys played that we're going for the number 1 seed. So are we put to the pedal to the end of the year? No sitting back, huh?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, I think Florida certainly wants to try to get a 1 seed if they can get it, and I would expect nothing different.
When do you balance like injuries? You just don't worry about that, basically?
No, you can't worry about that. You can't worry about that. You have to go play and see what you can do. I mean, I don't know how much difference there really is between a 1 and a 2 seed.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
But sorry. I still think being a 1 is better. You get, I think, a little bit better matchup. So Todd Golden knows what he's doing.
All right.
Andrew, thank you. Top Jimmy, welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, sir. Chenyelu last night, another double-double, tremendous. I knew already that he leads the SEC. But I just came to find out this morning, and I'm not sure who he's only tied with who for single-season individual in Gators.
No, he passed ideas, that, I think. He's tied? Okay. Is it Dwayne Davis, maybe, or I don't know.
I was gonna say Dwayne Shensius, but I didn't think he was that much of a scorer. But
were you talking about rebounds or?
No, for double doubles.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I thought you meant rebounding in general.
Dwayne Davis, I know Dwayne Davis. I had heard mention, and I think you may be right on that.
That's top of my head guess.
Okay, or I was going to say Eugene Duncan Machine McDowell, but
no,
anyway.
It's Bob Smythe. Bob Smythe played here in the 70s. Yep.
Holy cow! All right, and then I know you got to go to the live broadcast. SEC baseball play begins this weekend or not this weekend? Next weekend.
Not this weekend, next
so
weekend.
And then when they play their 3-game SEC weekend sets, they only play one midweek game each week, correct?
Yes.
All right. Thanks, sir.
Yep, thank you. And I think that's FSU next week, I think, if I'm not mistaken. High Point here this week. It is FSU. Okay, it's top of my head. And then we'll see what happens there. Quickly, Todd, International Diamond Center email. Great job, everybody, stepping up in Houck's absence. I've said since last year's team we play at a higher tempo. Maybe one or two teams can match up with us man for man for a full 40 minutes. Feel during Arizona, Duke, and UConn, we were searching for backcourt roles, shooting and played more half-court offense. In your opinion, for the postseason, which two teams will be able to match us man-to-man in an up-tempo game for 40 minutes? I don't have enough time to answer that. But what I will do is save this, Todd, and talk about it a little bit tomorrow, because I think that's a very, very good question. And I think the other thing you have to also understand here is just because you played a team in December, right, doesn't mean that's the same team you're playing in March. For example, Connecticut's won, but they've struggled a little bit. Houston, I thought 3-4 weeks ago would be similar to Florida. They've kind of stumbled a little bit. So you just have to, but I'll try and come up with an answer for you, but I can't in 30 seconds. That's kind of hard, to do. Again, want to thank all of you today. Thank Andres for producing the show today. We're going to get you out live to the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. Kentucky advances. We'll see if Florida advances. They play Mississippi State, a team they beat early in the year. So we'll see if they can make that happen again. Thanks to all of our sponsors today. Thanks to all of you for listening. I'm Steve Russell. We'll do this again tomorrow at noon as you listen on WRUF.
Turned around, and I'll keep this world from dragging me down.
Hey, it's Steve Russell for Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. Friends, they've been in business for 45-plus years, and the Cousins family has done just one thing, but man, they've done it right. They give you the best alternative you have to purchase